This is a test. All right, I'm going to test out this camera. I think I need a new camera. I don't know if anybody can hear me in the microphone either. Let's see. How do we check? All right. We're not muted. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, people? I wonder if I jump onto my own stream. Can I? Okay, good. Let's see this works. You can hear me. Okay, good. Let's see this works. You can hear me. Brilliant. Okay, good. Let's see this works. Okay, get rid of the feedback. Oh, and my cat's trying to get on my chair. All right. Let's see. I don't like that angle, man. I look terrible, huh? Yeah. This is PSG. Oh, and we're blurry. All right, I'm looking all Kevin Rose over here with my my black T-shirt. Let's move the camera over here. Let's see. Go on an adventure, everybody. I guess that's better. Let's just tilt it a little bit. Okay, so PSG Phoenix Shade Gaming. This is just me. I'm just a regular dude. I have my own channel. I post random videos when I find trophies that I think other people might need some help finding. I'm an achievement hunter. My profile on PSN trophies, ranked top 2,800 Canada, top 60K in the world. Not a big deal. But I am a completionist. I have 132 platinums. I just wrapped up number 132 on Trails Through Daybreak. And I try almost always to get everything, although some trophies just elude me. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Would love to get that platinum, but couldn't do it. And with that one, I didn't even really try. I was just like, this is going to take a long time, and I don't think I have the patience to do it. And so I did enjoy the game, didn't go for the platinum. But usually I will. Mostly I play JRPGs, single-player games. I'm not very good at the multiplayers, especially the FPS. So you'll never catch me playing things like Fortnite, Call of Duty, NHL, 2K, whatever. Not my thing. I like to sit down, like a story, just a regular RPG guy. Started with my very first RPG ever was, I think it was Dragon Warrior, Dragon Quest, but Dragon Warrior in the West. My dad brought it home from some random store from the US. Just grabbed it and loved it. And I've been playing RPGs ever since. And that was a long time ago. So that's what I play. I play a lot of RPGs. I play some action adventure, single player. If it's a AAA, I'm usually playing it. I don't care if it's popular or not. I'll stream it on Twitch. People want to pop in and say, hey. I like talking to people. I don't think I'll ever be popular enough to catch on, but it's something. I am starting Black Myth Wukong tomorrow. I've tempered my expectations, let's just say. I think it would be good. The feedback online is pretty good. I didn't want to spoil it too much, so I haven't gone too far. It's worth rolling the dice on a $90 game. Being in Canada, they're $80 plus tax, so $90. And I think it would be fun. I don't know if I'll get the platinum though, because the descriptions for the trophies don't make any sense. But we'll give it a go. I have a very good friend. His name is Wingless. He also streams. He will be relieved to see me playing something that's not a boring JRPG, which doesn't happen all the time. So we'll try that out, and then I'm going to switch it up a little bit, play a little platforming. Oh, sorry, no, that's not right. The next game after that is Visions of Mana. So, right on to the next. I stream like 6 days a week. I don't have a life. I work 6 days a week, and I just game. I work in the game. That's it. That's what I like to do. So why not? So we'll do some Visions of Mana. I have the demo for that. I might stream that, tomorrow or Saturday just to see. But I'm probably gonna buy it anyway. So, why not just pick it up? So after that, we're doing some Astrobot. Astrobot 2. What do they call it? We call that one. It's just called Astrobot. What's the release date? I think it's September 5th. This is, I want to say. September 6th. Well, it's close. So that gives me 2 weeks to finish Wukong, but oh no, this Visions of Mana. I keep forgetting about it. I don't know why. That comes out August 30th. We'll get to it. I don't know what I'm doing after that. I thought about checking out Metal Gear Solid Delta, the remake for Metal Gear Solid 3. I'm a Metal Gear fan. I'm a Hideo Kojima fan. Although for some reason I haven't played through Metal Gear Solid 3 to the finish. I played 1 countless times. I played 2 countless times. I played 4. Guns of the Patriots, Phantom Pain, awesome game. Loved it. Tried 3 back in the day when it came out. I think it was Subsistence, and did not like it for some reason. Then they recently released it as part of the Volume 1 HD collection or whatever it was. And I played 1 again. I played 2 again. Didn't play 3. So I don't know. We'll see. If they don't have David Hayter as Snake, it's a no, maybe, but I don't know. I think they may be reusing his audio tracks. We're going to see. Yeah. So what else is going on? Xbox. I said I'd talk about Xbox, so I'm going to do it. So it's no secret to anybody that knows me. I'm a PlayStation guy. I'm a Ponie. Okay. That's my cat background right there. So I just, I started with Nintendo, as most kids do. Well, I was a Commodore 64, then an Atari, then a Nintendo, then a Super Nintendo, then like a Sega, then a TurboGrafx, and then another Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, and then PlayStation, Sega Genesis, PlayStation. When PlayStation came out back in my day, it was Final Fantasy VII, and it was like, holy shit, what am I seeing here? So we played some of that, and then I actually had a 360. Yeah, I got like one in my closet right now. I own, I think, 3 360s. 2 of them at least met a dire fate and had red rings of death. Ironically, the first one was caused by Fable. There was some sort of trophy where you leave the game running overnight. I can't remember what it was, but it ruined my disk drive. It wouldn't spin anymore. And then I think something similar happened with the second one I got. And I say ironically because it was with Fable 2. So it happened twice. Yeah. And then the true story about why I stopped playing Xbox. So, as I said, I'm an achievement guy. So they have game stores with Xbox, right? Or at least that's what they used to be called. I don't know if that's what they are now. But I had a gamer store, and I was starting to collect. And then what happened was, I guess my subscription ran out. I had like a year subscription. Should have had something to drink for this. And it ran out, and I tried to renew it or something, and then I couldn't figure out my password, and then I can't really remember what happened, but the gist of it was I lost my account and everything that I had with it, which at the time was probably a few platinums. I don't know, they don't call it platinums, but whatever it's called. I had maybe a couple of games. I think Resident Evil 5 was on there. There was an RPG. I forget what it was called. Still a few RPGs or JRPGs on the Xbox. I just don't remember what it was called. So anyway, I lost it. So at that time, PS3 was coming out, so I bought a PS3. PS3 didn't have trophy support yet. Xbox was first for that. And the very first game that we put on my PS3 that had trophy support was Mafia or Godfather. I think it was Godfather 2. In fact, I can check right now. I'm going to look at my PSN profile. Check me out at Phoenix_Shade on PSN profiles. If you want to see all my achievements. I worked very hard on this list. Godfather 2, 5 of 42 trophies. That was before I started to platinum everything. But that wasn't even me playing the game. It was my roommate, Pat, who was playing it. I worked at a video store. I think I took it home as a rental. I don't remember. Did I own it? I don't even know. Maybe I might have. I can't remember. I didn't take trophies really seriously because they didn't come around. This was in 2009. So my very first platinum was Infamous 2, I believe. Yep. Those games were awesome, by the way. Cool if they made another one. It's been a long time. But yeah, Infamous 2 was number 1. And that was on July 2011. So fast forward 13 years, we've got 132 of those bad boys. I'm not a world beater. I take my time. I play a lot of RPGs. They take a while to beat. I do like 12 or so a year. I try. Maybe like 9 to 12 a year. Anyway, so I got a PS3. They started doing trophy support. I liked it. I got my first platinum in 2011. And it just went from there. Became a big PlayStation fanboy. I had a PlayStation 2, and I was sort of going back and forth, I guess, because I remember the big games on my PlayStation 2 were Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, and Final Fantasy X. Awesome games. And I think 12 was on PS2 as well. Played that one in many iterations since. Big Final Fantasy fan, by the way. Played almost all of them. Platinumed almost all of them. We can talk about that another day. Yeah, happy to talk about some Final Fantasy anytime. But yeah, so anyways, so now we're up to the PS5 generation, and they're not doing so well. Xbox, that is, Series S, Series X. Don't know what their problem is, but it's like they never have any games anymore. They spend billions of dollars to acquire these top-notch studios, Activision, Bethesda, a couple others, and they've had one decent game, in my opinion, in the last 2 years. That was Starfield, and it didn't even get a Game of the Year nod. So, or what I call it, Fallout in space. If it ever comes to a PlayStation, I might try it, but not really my thing. And they have that Game Pass deal going on that people seem to love. Pay a monthly subscription, get games day one for free. But I don't really think it's working out too well because now there's a lot of hype around these upcoming Xbox games. And Xbox is slowly starting to leak them out to other platforms, notably PlayStation. PC. PlayStation is starting to do that too, but you wouldn't see PlayStation giving out games to the Xbox console. So Phil Spencer, who's the CEO of Xbox, I don't know how this guy has a job. I think he just does what he's told. But anything that comes out of the guy's mouth downplays how bad they're doing. anything from consoles are not so console sales are not a successful or accurate measure of how successful you are, to letting everyone play games. Like that whole thing. Clearly there's some problems over there. It looks like they overspent so badly on studios to try to get their own serious first party content. It was like 10 billion they spent over like a period of a year, and there's been one game, maybe two, like on the console. Period. They're any good the last 2 years. So you had Starfield, which is like low 80s. Again, no game of the year, not even a nomination. And then you had Hellblade 2. Yeah. Which turned out to be a 5-hour walking simulator, but by all accounts, the best graphics in any video game. But no content, boring. It took them like 7 years to make it. And there's been nothing since. But there was some optimism if you're an Xbox fan or an Xbot. They were coming out with Indiana Jones this year. Finally, Xbox's answer to Uncharted, although not their IP. I mean, it's Disney, but still, treasure hunter game. Looked pretty good. My friend has an Xbox. She has a PlayStation as well. Her name's Allison. She's looking forward to it. She's a big Indiana Jones fan. I was interested in it, but I'm not going to get an Xbox to play it. And I'm not subscribing to Game Pass to put on my PC. Nope. So, okay, we're like, well, you guys have something to play finally. And then they just like 2 days ago, they had a launch announcement for it. And then they were like, it's going to be great. And then they wrap up the thing. They're like, there's one more thing to tell you about this Indiana Jones game. And then coming out on PS5 in March. So they leaked it to PlayStation. Again, the rhetoric will always be, well, our philosophy is everybody can play games anywhere. But, I mean, is that what's going on here? No. Clearly, so when you have a product and it is just yours, people will go to you to get to that product. So if you have these sweet games, imagine Elder Scrolls 6, whenever the hell that comes out. So you have that on your platform. Even me, that I'm so far up my own ass about liking PlayStation, I would be tempted to pick that game up on PC because such a sweet series. Imagine they took that and they just said, well, here you go, PlayStation, you can have it too. Right? Like, what incentive are you giving your consumer base when everything you have that's any good, which isn't a lot already, is being put on a competitor console that already has a large selection to begin with? So BlackBerry, I like to use this as an example. BlackBerry, you may remember the smartphone leader of old, had a messaging app called BlackBerry Messenger. It was awesome. It was like the best of its kind. This is before WhatsApp and all that. It was best in class. And then one day, they decided, we're going to let other platforms use this messaging app. Well, where's BlackBerry now? They're done. I'm not saying it's because of BlackBerry Messenger. I'm just saying if you give up the thing about your product that drawing people in to other competitors, people are going to start looking at the competitors and they're going to leave you in the dust. So anyway, Xbox seems to be, Microsoft for that matter, seems to be getting out of the console game. And that's the indication. But confusing enough, they just released 3 new variants of digital-only consoles which I cannot understand for the life of me because nobody's buying the console. It's being outsold like 5-1 now, and especially with these PlayStation does these timed exclusives and they're just killing them over it. So like this Wukong game that I'm going to be playing, they just took my $90, is now making the PS5 like the console of choice in China. China is a big country, and there's a lot of people in China. And if PlayStation gets a foothold in China, it's over. Not for Nintendo. Nintendo's just they're on their own planet. But Xbox, forget it. I mean, I feel like they're phasing out to be a publisher only. Let's just stick with PC, and we're done with the console business. But then these 3 consoles come out, so I don't get it, especially considering that the current generation is 4 years old. There should be a PS5 Pro maybe this year, maybe next. So by the time you get a new digital Xbox Series S or whatever, it's going to be obsolete. So what is the point? Do these have these spare parts? They couldn't sell their Xboxes, so they ripped a bunch of them apart, reassembled them, put them on the line, and said, "Okay, these are our limited edition digital Xboxes, right? Come and get them." I don't know. So I talked to people on X a lot about this stuff. When I say talk, it's mainly me just trolling, because when you get to the console war game, social media, it's just Xbox versus ponies, and they fight, and nobody will listen to anybody except each other. And I'm just as guilty as the last person or the next person. But like one person said to me the other day, he's like, "Well, it's a $1 trillion company, Microsoft. I don't think they are really concerned about losing money." As the reason for the counterpoint to me saying that they're only giving their games up to other competitors because they need the money. It's like a short-term fix, but long-term damage to their client base in the end. Anyway, I'm rambling, but what was I saying now? The point was, they're a $1 trillion company. If they don't care about losing money, why did they close the studio that produced Hi-Fi Rush, especially considering they were making a second one? That was like one of their few games that were any good. Now on PlayStation, by the way, I'm pretty sure. Won a bunch of awards. I never played it. I don't know. It's a rhythm game or something. Apparently, it's really good. Close the studio. I mean, if you didn't really care about the money, you wouldn't close the studio. You'd leave them open. So I think, just like any company, it's obviously one of the biggest companies in the world. They have a division for Xbox over here. They have shareholders, and the shareholders looking at this part of the company, and they're looking at this part of the company, and they're looking at the part where Bill Gates tells people to eat bugs. Just kidding, he's not part of Microsoft anymore. And then they look at the Xbox part, and they're like, what's this part of the company that's just bleeding billions of dollars every year? That's not getting us anything. And they're like, oh, well, that's our gaming, section of the company. And then the investors and stockholders, or the shareholders would be like, why are we supporting this when it's clearly losing money and it's failing? So that's what I think is going on. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's not going to be a next generation for Xbox consoles, and they're just going to become Sega in that regard. But they do have deep pockets, like we said. So, hey, one person, here you go. You're the very first person to listen to me rant. This is called a Quick Pulse. I've been ranting for 24 minutes about whatever. So, anyway, Xbox is on its way out. Pour one out for Xbox. If they ever release Halo over to PlayStation or Gears of War, that's like Nintendo giving up Zelda and Mario. That's when you know it's over. So, anyway, cool. So, thanks for popping by. And if you did pop by, the one person who left, Appreciate it. I'm gonna keep doing these. I think maybe like once a week, and if it's just me speaking my mind and nobody watches and nobody cares, it doesn't bother me. So, all right, I'm gonna be playing some Wukong tomorrow. Peace out, and see you next time on PSG Quick Pulse. Put the theme song here. Whatever. So make a theme song.